Welcome to Shallow Waters, where we're not afraid to admit that swimming in the same deep water as you is hard. So today I want to discuss fitness and some of the cognitive dissonance I have around fitness, kind of some of the backstory to that, where I am now, and also take a moment to do a no makeup routine with you. I just wiped down my face with some micellar water, and I am going to go in with some sunblock. I am doing something super simple, and I do have a few new products I want to try out. Editing Lauren here. Just wanted to share that all the background noise is typically my little friend. His name is Ted. He's making noise right now. I always assume that the people watching this are people who know me in real life and know Ted in real life and Ted's typical antics and ways of going about things. So if you hear background noise, that's typically Ted. That's him now. He's an excited guy. He is lots and lots of fun. And he keeps me on my toes. And typically when I make a video, it's because he's busy, probably in the shower or otherwise occupied in some way. I love this sunblock. This is the Isntree hyaluronic acid watery sun gel. It makes me look super healthy. And I did just wash my hair this morning, so it is super shiny. As it gets dirtier, it gets less shiny. I know that's like backwards. So this is how shiny it is when it's clean. And then I usually will go 3 to 5 days and then wash it again. I know that's a long time between hair washes, but I do find that when I first wash my hair, as you can see, it doesn't really behave. Over time, it kind of finds its spots and stays put. It's a little less wild. So those of you who know me might be aware that a few years ago, I was super involved in fitness. I was powerlifting at a fairly competitive level. I tried to do some bodybuilding, did a couple of shows, placed okay, mostly because nobody was really competing with me. But a lot of the feedback that I got from judges at the time was that I was just nowhere near lean enough. I was competing at about 11% body fat, which for me, when my body likes to naturally be in the 25 to 30% body fat range, was incredibly dieted down, and I was never able to break the magical 10% mark. That is really where you need to be as a competitive bodybuilder. And I'm not here to criticize bodybuilding. There are some great people that are passionate about it. There are also some not great people that are passionate about it. But to each their own. But really, physically, I am not, that's the word I want. I'm not really physically gifted for bodybuilding, so it would be an uphill battle for sure. There was a lot of, I'm going to be honest with you, starvation involved to get that lean, and I struggled. Ooh, this is way too much of this. So this is a color correcting primer, and I think I completely overdid it, and I'm going to look like a ghost. Oh well. That's what I get for talking to you at the same time that I try to do this. So, anywho, that was really hard for me. Powerlifting was also hard in the sense that it took a lot of work, but it was a situation kind of opposite to bodybuilding, where if I put the hard work in, I actually got the payoff. I'd work hard, and my 1 rep maxes would go up, and I'd become more competitive. It seemed like no matter what I did in bodybuilding, I was always being told I wasn't good enough, which is fine. People who are in bodybuilding like that. For me, as someone who's spent a lot of time in their life feeling not good enough, it really was not the most mentally healthy thing for me to be doing. What do we do with these hairs? So it wasn't my best place to be. Let's just put it that way. So far, what I have used for this no makeup look is sunscreen, and I'll show you the box. She Glam Birthday Skin Primer. That's what I have on so far. I think this stuff is amazing. It costs almost nothing. It's from, what is that place called? Shein, which from what I understand is a fast fashion place and probably terrible for the world and the environment, but they're cheap stuff that's sometimes good. And that particular, in fact, most of their makeup, I'll be honest with you, that I've tried has been excellent. So I don't know how that's made or what the story is behind it, and I apologize if I'm single-handedly destroying the environment or causing people to work in sweatshops. I really don't know the backstory, but the product is phenomenal. So that's what I've used so far for this look. I just took a little bit of Milk Makeup Hydro Grip eye primer and put that on my eyes. My favorite BB cream. I also like Kelsey's BB cream, so actually I'll put a little both on the back of my. So I'll actually mix the two. The Purito one. Oh, this one needs to be mixed a little bit better. A little bit of the Purito one and a little bit of Kelsey's from Pharmacy. You can see they're very different colors. I will use a brush, and I'm just going to use this on my nose. I'm not going to use it everywhere because I really, maybe just a little bit on my forehead. Forehead and nose. Just for a little glitz and glam. And then just blend it out. Alright, maybe a little more than I was planning to put on, but it is so shiny and healthy and wonderful. Okay, you can see how shiny my hand is right now. Love. I love that shiny finish. Neat. Okay. So back to the story. That is bodybuilding. I sucked at. Just honestly. I mean, I loved going to the gym. I loved putting in the work. I hated starving. All my meals were planned ahead of time. 90% of the time I was still hungry when the meal was over, and then I'd just have to wait until the next one. I would daydream about food all the time, couldn't sleep at night, was starting to become a very furry person. That's my little friend Teddy. He is definitely in the shower and definitely loud. So it just wasn't really, my love, I know you're having fun. So that was hard. It was really hard. And something I don't often talk about is that my coach was also my husband most of the time, although a few times I did hire outside coaches. Most of the time my coach was my husband, and it was really hard because he, as a coach, was able to be, what's the word I want? Critical of me in ways that I think wouldn't be acceptable as a husband, but I think he relished that. He really enjoyed telling me how I wasn't living up to the expectation. He'd also play a role where, you know, when he wanted to cheat or wanted to eat more food, he wanted me to participate with him, but he would also be critical of me for participating with him, which was a brain F. A mind F. No, it was really hard. And also I was on a team where a lot of people really had interesting dynamics with him. And I was constantly being compared to other people, usually in unfavorable ways. So it was hard. It was hard. And I, at the time, felt like what I needed to do when something was hard was just work harder. And I did. I worked harder. I worked harder still. I just kept working harder. And in many ways, I felt good working harder. I learned that I could do more than I thought I was capable of. There were some wonderful benefits to that experience, but there were also negative aspects, some of which was that I really felt like everybody was better than me. I kind of went into it that way, and the harder and harder I worked and the closer and closer I got to my goals, and the fact that I was still just so far from being okay and right and acceptable, and it told me that being acceptable, being attaining that level where you're finally good enough was never going to be attainable. And instead of saying that that's because it's just flat out not attainable, I thought it was because it was me. So I took it personally. I thought it was me. I thought I was the one who was never going to be good enough, and that other people were achieving. That's how I saw it, as other people were meeting that mark and I was falling short. And for the longest time, I thought that just meant I needed to work harder or do something differently. And I just kept plugging away at it. And eventually all that kind of came to a abrupt standstill. And for a long time, I still went into the gym and worked hard because I didn't want anyone on the outside to perceive me as a quitter. After about 2 years, I stopped going to the gym. Now, some of that was COVID, but it was a convenient excuse just to take a nice long break. And during that time, I gained 70 pounds. And I say that not knowing that it's exactly 70 pounds because I've recently stopped weighing myself. And I'm, over the last month or so, trying to do intuitive eating, which is really interesting because I find that I'm not hungry most of the time, which is the opposite of how I was when I was doing macros and constantly dieting and always in a caloric deficit. Now that I'm overweight, I'm hardly ever hungry. And then when I do get hungry, though, I get really hungry really fast. And I tend to want to eat a lot, like while I'm at work, which is really strange. And then I don't want to eat when I'm at home. Go figure. But I'm trying to get in touch with my hunger cues and to eat when I'm hungry and to not eat when I'm not hungry, and to make wise choices without necessarily making diet choices. So this is a new journey for me, a new way of approaching things. I'm used to eating when my coach tells me I'm able to eat, or my macros say I'm able to eat. So listening to me and eating when I want to eat, very, very different approach. And I haven't gotten good at it yet, I'll be honest with you. But that is what I'm trying to do. I did read the book, and I'm rereading the book now. And I've just recently started going back to the gym. Last week actually was the first time, and this is going to be week 2. Last week I just wore whatever. This week I bought an outfit. See, I don't know if you can see, kind of matchy. This is a shirt. It's so close to my skin tone that I'm a little nervous not wearing this other shirt over it because I feel like I'll look like the naked person at the gym. This is what happens when you buy things online. You end up with stuff that doesn't exactly work. I found my mirror. I am going to just try to draw in some nice light strokes into my eyebrows so that they don't look completely, what sort I want? Sparse. But I don't want to look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup, because that's the whole point of this, is I'm not wearing a ton of makeup. So being back at the gym last week was hard. It was interesting because on a day-to-day basis, I don't feel very self-conscious. Like I go to work and I feel very comfortable with the outfits that I have. I feel comfortable with the size of my body. Not so much when I was in an actual gym. I felt very self-conscious and very aware that I was bigger than everybody else. But you know, that is okay. It is what it is. That's what I tell myself. It is what it is. And I'm here doing my thing because I enjoy it. I'm going to see if I can put on a little bit of mascara. Thank you, Teddy. Can you turn that back on? I love this mascara. But it builds up beautifully. It's very natural looking. The lashes stay separate, which is one of my things. I know some people like the clumpy look. I've seen it a lot lately. It just isn't my thing. The last thing I want is to have the 3 little eyelashes that I have in a clump. Jones Road Beauty. I've not worn this yet. I did touch it though before, so you can see my fingerprint. I had to see what it was like, you know. So this is a balm, a blushy kind of balm, but it's supposed to be for all over. Love him. He's a wild man. He needs a new outfit. He just hopped out of the shower while I was doing this. Which is not what I expected him to do, but that's what Teddies do. They do the unexpected. Last night, he dumped out an entire, like, giant jar of coffee grinds and tried to eat them. Because that's what Teddies do, the unexpected. So I had to very quickly clean it up and try to get him to not eat it because I wanted to make sure he slept last night. It's a little bit of a lemony. I didn't notice it when I was putting it on my face, but on my lips it has a very lemony smell. So that is my no makeup look as completed. Hi, Shell. Here's my little hairbrush. Put it away. So I have no idea what I'll do with my hair today. Right now I'm just gonna leave it alone. Ah! How do I get this to be so I'm actually in the picture? I don't know! How do I, can I push this back at all? No, but I can come back over here. Hi! So I had some more thoughts about fitness. I guess I could share them next time, but right now I'm just trying to take good care of myself. I'm trying to eat when I'm hungry. I'm trying to prepare ahead of time just enough so that I'm not caught starving to death anywhere. And if I stay the same size forever, that is okay. I just want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself and that I'm as healthy as I can be. And the aesthetics, I just have to let that go. I know I say that while I'm putting on makeup to look like I'm not wearing makeup. I'm not making any sense at all. Again, cognitive dissonance all over the place. I do want to look good, but I don't need to look perfect. And I just want to be just moving through the world in a confident way and just feeling myself grounded and knowing my center of gravity and all of those things are, it's really helpful to work out and to take care of yourself to feel that way. And it's been a rough winter, so coming out of it, I just want to do everything I can to try to support some good mental and physical health. So thanks for coming to Shallow Waters. Please join us next time and like and subscribe if you want to.